I'm streaming at you from Sydney here in Australia, and I'm going to go through some of the questions, well, all the questions that you've asked me, and some of the other questions I find around the place for you guys. So, question from Tarek. If a girl is basically naked in your bed and she has some extremely last minute resistance, I don't want you to my boyfriend, I don't know for sure, do you still try, or just stop there? Okay, well, I've run into this quite a lot. Like a lot of girls have boyfriends that come home with you, or a lot of girls that come home with you, and they'll say, we're not going to have sex, or nothing's going to happen, right? But say a girl has a boyfriend. Now, if she has a boyfriend, you probably should stop there. You should probably just leave it there. One thing you can do to make it more likely to happen is to literally just stop there, because if she doesn't have a boyfriend, and if she is really unsure about it, and she's trying to like kind of see if she's actually into you, and it's like a little bit of pressure, by you like thinking about like should I stop or keep going, it's not the right way to look at that about it. You should just be enjoying the time you're spending with her, and if something happens, it happens. If it doesn't, now if it's like obviously your time's valuable, right? And if it's like a girl from a nightclub or whatever, and she doesn't want to get with you, and she's like a fucking German girl or whatever, and she's just like not going to do anything with you. She's not even going to make out with you. She's not even going to get along with you. Like if she's not even going to be at all intimate with her, you can just kick her out, whatever, right? But if you're having fun with her, if you're enjoying her company, that's fucking completely fine. And the more you're enjoying her company, the more you're having fun with her, the more likely something's going to happen. Because if she's in that logical state of mind where she's like, I don't want you to my boyfriend, I'm not sure. The worst thing you can do is think about, oh, how can I make this work? The best thing you can do is just relax with her and enjoy her company. And like, there's a lot to say about this, and like relaxing with a girl, and that allows her to become turned on or aroused with you, and alleviates the pressure. So that makes it a lot easier. And reading what you said here, you've just posted a bunch of your results. So you've done 171 approaches in a month, which was April last month. You got 31 phone numbers, which is about 1 in 6, or 1 in just over, just lower than 1 in 5. So that's not bad, because maybe only 1 in 20 girls are available to actually for something to happen with sometimes, and that's what you got to expect. So obviously some of those numbers nothing's going to happen with. I suspect maybe a half of those numbers or a third of those numbers something will happen with, and it seems that you've gone on 9 dates, so that would indicate about a third, which is pretty fair. That's pretty standard. So I assume your statements of empathy, your numbers aren't too flaky, and the flakiness that happens is expected because people have shit going on in their lives. One instant date. Now I don't know if this is a reflection of you day gaming and then you having shit to do straight after, but if you've got more time, your instant date level should be a lot higher. I find that my instant date level and my normal date level are pretty much about the same. I get about the same amount of instant dates as I get normal dates from the day. Obviously, in the night, an instant date isn't really a thing unless you're pulling the girl, and then that's normally like a pull. And from this date, you've had 2/3 pulls and 1/3 close. Okay, so the 2/3 pulls, I think that's pretty normal, because you can go on a date and then you can have a third date or a fourth date, and then you can pull from that. But normally what I find when I pull a girl, it's almost like guaranteed close. So I mean, that's not concerning. A half, that could just be, like you said, girls have boyfriends, or they're just a little bit unsure. Who knows what it is. You need a bit more. I need to see a bit more numbers before I can comment too much on that. But you've had a sexual partner, so that's good. The fact that you've had a casual sex partner from that, nice. Okay, another question. If your ex wants to creep back into your life, but not in a romantic way, only sexual, do you let her? Yeah, I remember reading this, and I actually wanted to reply to it then and there, but I've purposely waited on this question, Tarek. So it just completely depends on the girl, right? So the question is, if you have an ex-girlfriend, right, or you have an ex-partner, and she wants to come back into your life but only for sex, not for romance or anything, and should you let her back into your life, or should you block her and not have part of it? Completely depends, right? Do you even like the sex of her? Are you sexually interested in her? How sexually interested with the relationship were you? If you weren't, I mean, what's the fucking point? I mean, maybe you could have sex with her to get some sexual abundance or whatever, but if you're looking for something emotional and you're looking for a romantic connection, and you feel like being with her, it's just gonna get you into a negative headspace, and don't even worry about it. But it completely depends on your frame of mind. So that's up to you. I mean, if it was me, if I really thought the girl was attractive, I really liked her, I'd be like, yeah, why not? Fucking who cares? And you can decide after if it's weird or not. Girls who reject you in the past, but approach you months or years later. after your image and your mindset changes and now you're a better guy and such, do you give them a chance or not? Yeah, sure. If a girl's rejected you in the past, it doesn't mean she's rejected you forever. But rejection doesn't always mean rejection. Most of the time, rejection is just, it's, the circumstance doesn't allow for it. You know, maybe she was in a good mood, or maybe she didn't like your image at the time. That's not a reflection of your future self. So yeah, why not? It's completely fine. You know how many times like this happens so many times to me. This is actually ridiculous. I go to a club or I go out to the day or whatever, and I meet a girl, and sometimes girls are like such big bitches because they don't know what else to do. So they might be like, "Don't talk to me, fuck off." And you don't normally get them harsh rejections, but sometimes girls do it just because they're nervous or they don't know what to say. And I've seen these same girls out the same night, and sometimes they're completely different persons. And they're really nice. And I remember one circumstance, a girl was such a bitch to me, and she accused me of stealing a handbag, and she was just like the most horrible girl. And I pulled her like a freaking week later. Like, just because someone acts like something in a certain moment doesn't mean that's who they are, like, forever. Okay. Did I miss any questions? No. Alright. I've got a question from Hong Tran. If you still want to close a girl who has a boyfriend in a day game, what is the right mindset? Screen for emotional availability. To find out if, if she's fulfilled by her boyfriend, if she's, like, because a lot of girls that have boyfriends, they're kind of just with them as a fucking fashion statement or something, and they're not really into them. So find out if she's the type of girl that, first of all, if you're obviously gonna have to get along with her. So if a girl has a boyfriend for me, she better be fucking awesome, right? Because like I can get with okay girls, right? But if she has a boyfriend, what's the point? I can just go get an okay girl that's single, and it makes it so much more simple, right? So first of all, if the girl is amazing and she has a boyfriend, well then maybe you might consider it because you really want the girl. But then most of it comes down to like timing, right? How much time does she have before she's going to feel accountable later? Because the biggest thing working against you is as soon as you go for it, as soon as you start making out, as soon as you turn on the heat, this is when it has to happen. And if she has time to think about it, like the next day or a prolonged period of time, that's when she's going to regret it and never want to see you again. So that's one way you can do it, is if you have a long time with her, you can build up the comfort, and just focus all on the comfort and don't even like try to touch her or kiss her. And the second you get the chance to like make something happen, you can just start escalating and go for it. Because you build up the comfort and she trusts you, right? But can be a little bit manipulative. The other way is if you just screen and you find a girl with a boyfriend that's emotionally available, it can very, very much happen just if it was a single girl. But in terms of emotional availability, you need to find, how is she into him? How often do they see each other? Are they from the same country? Have they had a lot of time apart? And what is her mindset in terms of, a relationship, and what's her mindset in terms of like monogamy and all that kind of stuff. But you don't want to ask these questions directly. You want to get a feel for them and suggest her to bring them up without saying it directly. So if you want to know about cheating and stuff, one example is to lead first. So you can talk about problems of your relationships first, and she can be like, "Oh my god, yes, my boyfriend's like that," and then he's such a he's shit like that. So you lead with an example to suss that information out about her. Okay. From Brian Edward, Module 8. Alex is looking at your infield. He mentions that you had 2 or 3 day game insta pools, yeah, in early program in day game fair game. Yeah, sure. I get them all the time. Like maybe half insta pools, half the instant dates are pools in day game, and then most dates are pools, most. But that's why I like instant dates so much, because if you go on the instant date, you give yourself a chance to pull the girl, and you eliminate all the flakiness that comes with like bad timing after like she forgets about you and the moment passes. So just spending more time with her really helps that. So if you can make it happen then and there, you'll find like so many times I've met a girl and I've been like, I really like this girl. I know something's gonna happen because we had such good connection, and then she doesn't even fucking reply. And it's almost like I held off from the instant date and pulling her then because I wanted to be a gentleman. And then I've like learned my lesson. I'm like, if I really want the girl, just fucking go for it. And then. So like a lot of the times you'll find it's weird, because if you pull a girl, if you get an instant pull from the day, that's like 10 times more solid than a number, because a girl that's been with you in the day she met you, it's like such a unique thing for a girl that she's going to remember you, and she's almost going to be like obliged to want to hang out with you again, because if she's like, oh, I had sex with a guy in the day, if I don't hang out with him again, that's maybe I'm a slut, so maybe I should actually hang out with him again. Where if she gets your number, well, and she doesn't have as much emotions connected to you, obviously. So what was your question with that? Can you talk about some of the same day game pools? Okay, cool. So there's one really kind of, I would say, beautiful girl I met around the Opera House. Now the Opera House is probably the easiest place to get same day ladies in all of Sydney. In Melbourne, I don't think there's the best place. I mean, I don't know where most of you guys are from, but the best place is normally like a landmark or somewhere where people don't have much time. I mean, they have a lot of free time. They have a lot of free time. So I said that wrong. People have a lot of free time. So landmarks are a place where people tend to relax and be exploring the city, which is an indicator that first of all they're tourists, which means you don't have too many obligations to anyone, boyfriends maybe in the city. So they're very open-minded to meet new people. And the other thing is when you go to a landmark, you tend to have a lot of free time. You can pre-screen and look for girls that kind of like by themselves, walking slowly or whatever. So I met this girl at the Opera House. I was doing a day game session with my students on a day game experience for about 3 hours. And as soon as we ended, I think I jumped in front of this girl. I don't normally jump in front of girls. I don't normally like stop them, kind of like a bit more politely. I don't really like the whole jump in front of the girls thing. Can't remember if I actually did it, but I was obviously like I saw this girl and I like really liked the way she looked, and I knew that she was my type, so I was just so excited to talk to her. So I kind of like jumped out in front of her like out of excitement, and I'm pretty sure she was approached like literally 30 seconds before I talked to her. But it didn't really matter. Just because like a girl has been approached or whatever, it doesn't actually necessarily mean that she's done. As soon as a girl gets approached by a guy, it doesn't mean oh now she can't be approached by pickup artists or whatever. It doesn't actually mean that because everyone's fucking different. What you have to offer is not what he had to offer necessarily. Well, at least I hope not. And basically what happened to that guy, like, we just gelled really well. I made sure to take the pressure off as much as I could. Look, like, don't let me interrupt you. Do your own thing. Compliment really strong on the appreciation. I noticed that she was from America, American girl. She didn't have much to do, so I just decided to walk for her. And really quickly, I noticed that should really be up for something, and she started qualifying me quite quickly, which is rare. She started saying stuff like, "I actually think we'd really get along. I can tell already that I'm going to like you a lot." She said this within like the first 5 minutes, so I was like, that gave me a lot of leeway and a lot of leverage and a lot of capital points to move it forward very fast. So I was like, oh, maybe let's go get a drink or whatever at a bar. And then she's like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to regret this or not, but why don't you come to my hostel and drink with me there? It would be cheaper for both of us. She suggested that. So we went and did that, went to a hostel. I made sure not to make a move at a hostel because I already known her for like 10 minutes. So I just like drank with her, shot the shit, and then I took her over to meet my friends over in Bondi. So we traveled like an hour on the bus to go over to Bondi so she could meet Alex and all that, but it turns out they were fucking who knows where. We couldn't find them. So I just took her back to my house because we had nothing else to do. We were bored. We're like, well, my friends aren't here. We've got nothing else to do. Of course, we'll just go back to my house. And a gentleman never remembers. And then I hung out with that girl numerous times after on the program. And then there was another instance with this girl I met that I had sunburn with. And I didn't actually expect anything to happen with that girl, but because she was so reserved, and I actually talked a lot about this in my video, actually, but I'll talk about it a bit now, because it's an interesting circumstance. I had this really fucked up sunburn, and I didn't actually want to, like, go near anyone, because just someone touching me fucking hurt. So, this girl's really reserved, and if I was to, like, touch her or get physical, it would have probably blown me out. So, the fact that I had the sunburn actually helped me here, because I had plausible deniability, like, about taking her home, because I could take her home without, having to have sex, because I'm like, obviously I can't have sex with her, because I got fucking all this bad sunburn. That's the last thing that I'm going to want to do with it. So that's the plausible deniability. So she felt safe, and then it happened anyway. So a lot of the time it's just like really just comfort. It's seriously just fucking comfort with day game pools. But when you need to amp it up, you kind of need like the frame of you really appreciate her, you really enjoy her company, you want to get to know her more, and something could happen. You're very intrigued. You want that kind of frame, so then you can kind of like escalate when the time comes, right? Because if it's all comfort, no like interest, no intrigue, no attractionist, so to speak, she might free her. It might just not happen. You might friend zone yourself. So you need to appreciate her, and the statement of motivation is really important there. So telling her, putting into words what really motivates you about her that you could even do better yourself. So that's something you normally do like 30 minutes or so into an interaction. You don't try to use a statement of motivation the second you meet a girl because you don't even know what it is you like about it yet. And that's a lot of mistake a lot of guys make. They'll try to qualify the girl too early, and it'll just come off as like a shit-ass attempt, and it'll make the girl like even more cautious than she normally was. Alright. Can you talk about the lifestyle of doing pickup full time? What keeps you motivated, approaching, consistent to do major challenges? So,